Hi everyone, this is Jim Martin, and welcome to another episode of Martini and Martin Guest Service Fanatic Specials, Episode 7, Broadway Medley. Now this is a big one. We have 4 stars of the MGM studios appearing in this one. Annie Geiger-Wenkes, Jim Braswell, Michelle Greenwood-Bettinger, and Robbie Winkleman, plus a cast of dancers and a live band. So I think you'll enjoy this one, and we'll talk a little bit about it later when it's over.
I had a dream about guest service. It was all about good service. It's all about you, I tell you. Yes, well, you are great. You have made Disney World be first rate. Starting here through here on the everywhere service fanatics. You can do it. All you need is a smile. We can do it. Malcolm is gonna see till it curtain up. Light the lights, we've got nothing to hit but the heights. Make it fun, wait and see. Number 1, we will be. And nothing's gonna stop us with the best. Honey, everything's coming up. Rubens and Mickey Mouse. Everything's prime time and movie ride and Star Trek and Streamosphere. Everywhere, honey, service fanatics for all of our I'll wait for the guest service. Hit your bottom dollar, that guest service is the way. Just thinking about guest service makes me not so googly and so nervous. Through the day, when I'm stuck with a guest who's lost and clueless, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, "Get service, I love ya. Get service, you're gonna be here to stay. Get service, I love ya. Get service, you're gonna be here to stay." Come on, Sandy.
When you're a guest through the day, from the place where you park to the place where you pay.
With every guest do the royalty thing. Every woman's a queen, every man is a king.
The guests are all here, the bonus cells are clicking.
You better stay here, cause every guest is paying. It keeps us paying.
Here come the guests, make them like what they see. Give them what they want, if they like it, buddy.
I'm the best, your job, better please. Alright. Hang a sign that service is forbidden, and we ain't kidding. Here come the guests, and we're drawn up in the best Disney park that you ever did see, that you ever saw, ever gonna see.
The most beautiful sound I ever heard.
Service, guest service, guest service, guest service.
All the beautiful sounds of the world into single words.
Guest service, guest service, guest service, guest service, guest service.
Guest service. I thought about giving guest service, and suddenly this thing has a truer ring to me. Guest service. I just gave a guest some guest service, and suddenly I found how wonderful a sound can be. Guest service, say it loud and there's music playing. Say it soft and it's almost like praying. Guest service, I'll never stop giving guest service. The most beautiful sound I ever heard. Guest
When I say goodbye, I'll think about tomorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. But I don't regret what I did for guests, what I did for guests. Look, my eyes are dry. I have no pain and sorrow. I have only joy and love. But I don't regret what I did for guests, what I did for guests. Gone, guests are never gone as they travel on. They're what we'll remember. Tell the guests goodbye. They'll all be back tomorrow. We do what we have to do. Don't forget, don't regret what we do for guests. What we do for guests. What we do for
Things may be sunny with never a sign. Don't need what money can buy. Birds in the tree sing their day full of song. happy with my lot. How do I get that way? Look at what I've got. Oh yeah. I've got Disney enthusiasm. I've got magic. Who could ask for anything more? I'm a service, yes, fanatic. I've got magic. Who could ask for any more?
I got Disney enthusiasm. I got magic. Who could ask for anything more?
I'm a service, yes, fanatic. I got magic, who could ask for anything more?
I got fire.
I've got Santa Claus. Here we go.
Hi again. I hope you like this one. It's one of my favorites. It was a big, lavish production, and it had 5 musical numbers in it this time, led by some talented equity performers at the time, Annie Geiger-Wenkes and Michelle Greenwood-Bettinger, Jim Braswell, and Robbie Winkleman. And did you see Robbie's hair in this? It was really long. I mean, when I was watching, I'm like, was he wearing a wig? And I'm like, no, that's really his hair. I don't know, I pointed that out because I was just surprised. It looked great, but he had really long hair. And getting back to the seriousness of this, the tap dancers, just what talent was on that stage, and a live musician. And costumes. There were costume changes as one, which we hadn't seen before. And Mary Schmidt and her team, once again, pulled together those costumes at the last minute. I am so sorry now, looking back on the lack of time I gave you all, but they always seem to manage to make it happen. There was some vivid memories on this particular one. One involves Denise Alert, who was incredible to work with. She was my co-director and choreographer. And sometimes the choreographer and the director kind of cross paths, and it did so in this one. I remember having a very tense argument with her when we were staging Annie's first arrival on the stage to sing Everything's Coming Up Roses. I wanted her to plop down in the middle of the stage and sing the entire song from the center stage, and Denise wanted her to roam around. And I just remember everybody getting really quiet because Denise and I were having this argument. And in the end, Denise won, and we moved on. Well, I moved on. And there was a very funny moment in this particular show. If you remember when Jim Braswell is in the middle of his solo, and it's very dramatic West Side Story, and everybody starts laughing, it's because when Annie left the stage, her microphone was not turned off. So you could hear her in the women's restroom, because they didn't really have a dressing room at the cafeteria, talking about her panties. It's kind of funny. And then, click, someone caught it and turned it off. I think the other thing, I want to point out on this, is that this is where the detail came in on these shows. Off stage, and I think you see it when they're kind of giving everybody due credit at the end of the show, we had 2 dancers on a small wood stage, and it was mic'd, and they were the tap sounds that you heard. Not that the performers on stage weren't tapping, but the guys off stage were in tap shoes, and it just enhanced the performance. And I mean, for this little show at a cafeteria, we really tried to pull out all the stops to do these things. And by this time, these shows were getting quite well known, and we were getting funding for these. Bob Lamb and Bruce Lavelle were very generous in the money that they gave for us to put on these shows. Again, we could only afford a 4-hour rehearsal, and then usually during the day of the performance, it was pulling people from shifts. And I can say that now, it's 25 years later. And I can't imagine that type of money being spent now on backstage cast productions. So it really was a very magical time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one, and stay tuned for the next.